How's everybody doing today? This is Attorney Antonio Moore coming to you from Tone Talks. I wanted to have a discussion today because I came up with the term called boomer hooked, and I believe that many Gen Z and millennials essentially live their life through their boomers. But I believe a lot of people have gotten confused thinking I'm talking just about a person like a grandparent or a parent. What I'm actually saying to you is that the most pivotal time in your life was before you were born. America set it up where those people that served their prime lives in the 70s and the 80s and even the early 90s are functionally the most powerful people in the country because that is when America decided that the middle class would rise. I'll show you in charts, but effectively, your life was largely decided before you got here. You will not have that same power over the next generation. And I think many of you seem to be very confused about it because you don't understand wealth in America. They've set up the estate tax where it went from a ceiling of a start point, I should say, of about 600,000 in the 80s to being 15 million for a person and 30 for a couple, and they can share that fungible. They can share that. I'll talk about that later. When you look at property tax in places like California, that was largely able to be passed down until 2020, they have caps on property tax that basically makes it so that wealth that was gained by that group, that cohort that was in their prime ages during those years, as effectively are almost like lords over everyone else. So when you look at America, it isn't about a boomer giving you money. It's about them paying what they owe for having lineage in this country, progeny. When you pay for your car note, you didn't give your car note money. You paid your car note. I think America has lied to you. For those people that are giving money to somebody that was in their prime years during the 70s and 80s and early 90s, you are up. I don't know how you think this is going to work. We live in an America where America decided that that group was going to be the wealth group, no matter if they were educated or not, no matter if they worked in a factory or not, no matter what, you were going to fail because they loaded you up with student loans, with housing debt, with car notes that are $900, and you up here running around, fumbling around, and don't understand. Labor tax at 40% can't compete with estate tax money to come in at zero. Let's get right to it. So, when you understand that we all live next to each other, but you have a cohort, particularly of the top 30% of white families. I like to give numbers because many of you don't have any in your lives. You live based on the idea of the individual opportunity for each person. I don't live there. I live based on the truth of what the numbers show me and my own experience in talking to some of the most powerful people in the country one-to-one. What I'm telling you right now is that a shocking number of parents still support their Gen Z and millennial kids. Understand that millennials at their youngest are probably in their mid 30s and at their oldest are anywhere from like 43 to 45, depending on how you cut it. A shocking number of parents are giving people in their 40s an average of $1,500. But they're not just giving them $1,500. Understand that the government set it up where that money can come to them tax-free, and it's not supposed to. There's an illegal transfer happening in many, many homes, just not yours. So effectively, particularly if you're a Black American, an American descendant of slavery that went to college and giving money to your grandma or to your mama or to your brother, you're doing it all wrong, and that's why life is hard. You cannot give away money taxed at 40% while white folks in your contemporary lifespan are receiving money tax-free that's supposed to be taxed. Supposed to be taxed. Well, effectively, if somebody moves home and is not paying rent, the government is really supposed to assess that as an income to that person. Do they do it? If your grandma pay your cell phone bill or your car note, the government is supposed to see that as a taxable income. Do they do it? So while you got to go make $900, $800 to pay $600, that person instead makes nothing and then gets taxed nothing, and grandma pays the same $600 for them. Where's your grandma? Oh, you gave her $400. None of this makes any sense. I need you to understand that you are living in a world where someone next to you that you giggle with at work is receiving $1,500 a month tax free that they supposed to be paying. They got, if they were to do it in work, they got to make like $2,200. $2,200. That's like a $40,000-$50,000 salary. This is all new. America decided in the 70s and 80s to give the middle class a massive transfer of wealth. We've went through it ad nauseum on this channel. Go look at older videos. I'm not going to go ad nauseum today, but what I will say is this chart shows you how that wealth took off. When you look at the white line, from slavery until 1989, they got to about $24 trillion. From there to today, and they're well past this now, this chart is a few years old, white America is at 140, $130 trillion. And it ain't just the top 0.1, it ain't just the top 10, it's the top 50% of their families. So effectively, there is a math here to live well. And that math is not you getting all your money from working. That math is someone who was alive and in their prime years and doing the right things in 89 and 84 and 78, doing right by you. The problem for ADOS Americans, not all of y'all, some of y'all got grandmas that was out there partying, the go-go generation. They just messed it off. But many of y'all have grandmas that were locked out of wealth. So now they're trying to tell us today lessons from 1975 as if they're going to work today. No, they got too much money now. We can't do it with work. That's over. I'm here to tell you today that a prior era has to infuse you with capital today for you to live better than the market. Otherwise, you're going to be with Uber, Klarna, them payday checks we're going to talk about later. You will live a hard life. Then in addition, you're going to take that money that's taxed at 40% and give it to somebody who forgot you in 85. Make it make sense. Many of you do not understand money. You watch Earn Your Leisure, you watch Boyce Watkins, you watch whoever, Kramer, you watch all the stuff. But I'm here to give you some dimensionality that goes beyond the textbook, what is a stock, and explain to you the context of wealth in America. When you look at the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, I even showed y'all the email that I exchanged with the governors that create this. I showed it to you about 3-4 weeks ago on this channel. When you look at this chart, it is the reflection of this blue line, this line that white people have. White America has $37 trillion in real estate. Black America has like $2, and most of it is probably in the hands of boomers that will pass on and use it for their own medical coverage and leave us with nothing because everything is set up wrong. I've talked to many estate planners, and they say when it comes to black folk, it's kind of hard to get black folk to do the right thing by their black folk. Come on with it, Tone. You got that medical doctor, but you ain't pay no medical school bills. Boomer, you have that medical doctor, you have that lawyer, and you wrote no real checks. And we're not talking about $1,000 one time. We talking about real money. We got corporate equities, which is the stocks, the mutual funds. You got white America with $37 trillion of it, and black America with $290 billion. We do not exist in the criteria and areas to be able to access America and have the average thing happen for us. So what we do instead is make up fantasies and not understand that you doing this against not just this number, but this number untaxed. If they had to tax that, that'd be like $2,400, $2,500 in labor, $2,300. Okay. All we got is pension. We got that pension in that home. Fundamentally, back to the purpose of this show, it is to talk about a post that I saw on Twitter. It is to talk about this right here. So this guy, Spencer Hakiman, he be posting about wealth. Some stuff he says I've shared, to be fair, but I don't know if he understands wealth the way I understand wealth. I'm just going to put it straight. Again, for me, I'm not only a licensed attorney. I wrote a piece with Duke University, "What We Get Wrong About Closing the Racial Wealth Gap." Not a piece, a research paper, and also I was in Fortune magazine writing an article on that topic. I've written at inequality.org, a left leaning think tank on the topic for several years actually. You can go Google all of that. Google me, ain't no problem. I'm there. So when I hear somebody say something that don't make no sense, that shows they don't understand the context of America, race, or wealth, I'm gonna bust your ass. The only surefire way to become a millionaire: one, go to a cheap state school. I did that. I went to UCLA. Two, get a degree in a field that has multiple high-paying job opportunities. I did that. I became a lawyer. Number three, I did not do this, but I was close to it. Marry a spouse that school and major from that school and major. Damn near. Uh, None of that would have fixed anything. Live below your means. Okay. Well, that works really well if you getting that 1,500. See, Hockey Man left that out. He don't have the 1,500 on average. So this is the average number. For people who did what he said, they not getting 1,500. Come on, let's get the math going. People who did what Spencer Hockey Man did are getting 2,500 and 3,000 from two sides a month. Because this is the average for average people. What he's describing is not average people. He's talking about the excellent. I'm telling you about the excellent because I don't know nothing but excellence. Y'all go watch High School Dropouts talk about this if you want to. My level is different. So now here we are talking about this thing in a greater context than this tweet can hold. Let's get right into it. Live below your means. Ain't nobody trying to live below no means. I'm trying to go to Disney World. I'm going to Jamaica. Who in the hell want to live below their means in America with all this good restaurants and stuff out here? Okay. Invest continuously in the S&P 500. He is giving lesson plans from 89 in 2025. And he don't even know it. Never sell. Never get divorced. Damn this whole list. The only surefire way to become a millionaire is to be white and inherit. Understand again why I'm saying be white. So you're part of this blue line. There's a few black people in this black line. Most of them are either foreigners, meaning West Africans and Caribbeans that sit outside of being an American descendant of slavery, or they're biracials, in which case they should just be included in the blue line like Nicole Hannah-Jones. We never found out what she got when that granddaddy died, that white granddaddy. So you got this reality where ADOS black Americans are shut out of opportunity here. And then in addition, don't understand, because they have no reason to understand, the property tax benefits that are handed out, like the candy in California, where since 1978, property tax only increases 2%. So you got people up there in Pasadena where the Eaton fires happened, and the Palisades, that wasn't paying but a nickel and a dime of property tax. The estate tax, which I'll talk about in a second, there's no estate tax until 30 million for you or your spouse's boomer retirees as a couple now. People on Twitter really be saying anything to folks with these bootstrap stories. And again, this was the bootstrap story. I start off today with this post. A shocking number of parents still support their Gen Z and millennial kids at an average of nearly $1,500 per month. If you had to make that in labor again, you got to make like $2,200, $2,300. It's like a $50,000 salary. Listen to this. Somebody tried to post this house and just post the house, not say nothing else. Kids today wonder how our parents were able to survive with one paycheck. This is exactly how it was done. See the size of this house? This was a normal when I was growing up. No 5-bedroom house with 5 baths, living and buying within your means, starter homes. Nick told him right. This house was purchased in 1980 for $50,000 and sold in 2022 for $1.45 million. That is how this blue line takes off. Time, but a particular moment of time. Can we talk today? Can we get to it? When I say inherit, I'm also talking about in-life gifts. So I'm not just talking about at death. I'm talking about in life gifts. So what does $1,500 mean? It means that a $700-800 car note no longer needs to be paid. It means that all your Netflix, Hulu, all the stuff that can trigger messed up in your account, you don't pay for that. It means that your cell phone bill, you might not pay your cell phone bill. It means your internet, grandma might pay for that. It means that you are basically a boomer hook child telling us about how grown you are and how you be like moving and really you ain't handle no business. And so, like in this world, what happens is the pivot is some of you that have no access to those people are instead paying your grandmama's Hulu, giving your grandmama her car note. You are living so backwards that you running against time. You back to the future reverse. God damn it. When I say inherit, I'm talking about in life gifts, like moving home to save for a house, your parents paying your kids $20,000 middle school tuition. Damn it, your home really being an early in life transfer when those same boomers give you the down payment, or for that matter, they really pay the mortgage too by paying for your kids' tuition. So we moving the ball around. So I pay my own mortgage. They don't help me. Well, if they paid your kids tuition, they paid your mortgage too, because it's all one pot. And what's happening now is that you do not understand, you Gen Z, you older millennial, what it takes to be here and live well. And part of this show is just to lay you out the truth. Couple spends $5,000 a month to support their 27-year-old daughter who moved back home. We were not planning on this. But what they do understand is that they have to do it. What they don't understand is nobody planned to pay their car if it get in a car accident. Nobody. This is America. America set it up where a certain cohort of people pay for the life of everybody in the family because you guys set up all the laws in your favor. How did they set up the laws in their favor? Well, they made state school cost $20,000 and $30,000 by cutting all the tax base for the state schools. So now we have student loans, but the student loans come because you didn't want to pay taxes and that you didn't want to pay your property taxes. So pay your goddamn bill for all that progeny, all them grandchildren running around. Now, for those of y'all that don't have that and decided to have the children anyway, you in trouble. And America ain't playing with you with this Klarna, this Uber, this earn paychecks. Come on. You don't even know you in trouble out here on your second family when you ain't paid for your first family. What you mean, Tone? You getting a divorce and can't pay for your first family. You over like a bee with a sting out. You can't pay for that first one. After surveying 1,000 parents of U.S. adult children, a report conducted by Savings.com revealed that parents were doling out an average of $1,400 a month, about $1,800 for Gen Zers and $900 for millennials every 30 days. What is the recurrent allowance going towards? Oh, come on. I said something about a house earlier. Do y'all remember? Let me make sure because I don't play. Early in life transfers when those same boomers give you the down payment, or for that matter, they really pay the more. Hold on. Tone just is talking. Wait, CNBC says to buy a house in today's market, more people turn to an alternative lender, their parent. But it ain't really a loan a lot of times. It's just an early transfer of the inheritance that would come at death anyway. And so this becomes a familial investment projected to those that don't have these parents as if they are a standalone bootstrap story. We did not force America to be honest about itself. We did not force these people to pay their taxes the way they should. We did not make America make it so people who don't have these things can live a comfortable life. We did not make it so America can make people who don't have these things can live a comfortable life. The average new car payment in 2025 is $745, but the average used car payment is $520. Interest rates of 11 and 7. Loan amounts of 42 and 27. That is a boomer mortgage for an entire house in 87. But if you getting your 1,500, you don't even might not have it in your name. It just goes straight from grandma to the car, and then you drive the car around. And we don't never see no taxation on that. So a person next to you at work got to make about like, that's got to be like probably about like gross. They got to make like 950, maybe 1,000 to get to that 750. Grandma is doing that's America. When I say the estate tax, everybody get confused because if you ain't had no people in your family, you don't even know this going on. You living under America and don't know that the concrete on top of you. You got the concrete like a blanket on top of you and don't even know. Talking about life is hard. Life ain't hard. You just who you are. You was born to that family. They just didn't tell you because they don't know and they don't really care to tell you and find out. I'm telling you this as somebody born with 3 cards in a 10 card game. So, my parents had me 16, 17, 3 cards in a 10 card game is out. I still try to move, but like America done set it up where if you not at least doing Klarna and Uber, you winning. All this down here in the Merc, that's what I call it, the bottom level, the Merc, is designed for you to have a fundamentally hard life. And many of you do not have the equipment to even understand how to kind of make your life a little better. Why you giving money away to folk? You don't have none. Estate tax alert. New $15 million federal exemption becomes law. Due to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the federal estate tax exemption will increase to a new permanent $15 million exemption. Let me give you context. I'm not even going back to the 80s when it was like 300,000 a person. Going back to 97, estate tax started at 600,000 and the top tax rate was 55%. So that means after 600,000, time to break that property up and pay this taxes or you pay it in cash. They changed America fundamentally by changing the estate tax. Now, they did other things as well that are just as important. But if you do not understand, that makes it so labor doesn't matter as much. Why, Tone? Because the property and the wealth is not being broken up. It's not being reset. So what happens as a result of this is that the wages don't matter as much. Because when you go from 600,000 in 97 to $15 million a person, 30 for a couple, and if one person doesn't use their full 15, it can flow over. That's what I was telling you before. So if I use 10 and I pass, that surviving spouse now has not 15 but 20. The entire ecosystem of America is designed where your life today is predicated not on today. It's predicated on 85. So whoever failed you in 85 has off your life. And I'm just telling you so you can get locked in and understand what you're going to have to do to move forward. Come on, baby. This is the truth of it. He don't know. Look at him. He telling you some stuff that if you was in 85 would be nice. I want to have a discussion. I just want to get there. So look at it. 97 was 600,000. By 2007, it had jumped to 2 million a person. But then they had dropped the top rate from 55 down to like 45. Look what they did in 2025. Back in it was 2025, it was already 14 million. It's 15 now, and the top rate was only 40%. So that means that $4 million house, you can receive it tax free. It ain't about the $30 million family. It leads to a gutting of estate tax. And it makes estate tax and that pivotal moment of death one of the most important moments in your life. And why is it so important? Well, because of this. And I told you this a while ago. Cerulli anticipates 124 trillion in wealth will transfer through 2048. As the boomers pass, it will create a world where Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, are underclass unlike anything we've seen probably since, I would say, the Great Depression, but I might go slavery. And many of you might want to mentally get prepared because all I hear is Wile E. Coyote ideas about how you're going to get rich with a get rich scheme. You don't understand. You pay your grandmama bills and she came from the 80s and the 70s. Ain't how it go. I told y'all about the estate tax already a year ago, 2 years ago. Do you understand the estate tax and what it means for Black America? We're not going to get deep into it, but you can see it right here. Estate tax alert. New $15 million federal tax exemption becomes law. So it's 15 for a person, 30 for a couple, and your mama gonna die, and you're gonna leave you payday loans like my mama did. And you're gonna be here and you're gonna be successful. While you giving somebody money when they pass. Come on. Paying for funerals. Y'all better get it, baby. I'm just telling you. I ain't trying to make nobody feel bad. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. You the car. You don't pay your own car note. I mean, come on. Where that happened? Oh, in your house. Yeah, you the Ford Mustang, and then you run around trying to pay your own note. Grandma driving you around. Got all the grandbabies running around talking about that they expensive. Where you ain't paid no bill. Amid the rising cost of living, ballooning student debt, and stagnating wages, it comes as no surprise that Gen Z and millennials are relying on their parents more than past generations. The word relying might be an understatement. According to a new report, 50% of parents are financially assisting their adult children. So let me give you the numbers again, because I thought I did earlier and I kind of started getting into the show. There's about 83 million white homes. Wealth is by home, not individual, particularly because white folks are married at a 70% rate or so. It transfers that way. The estate tax, like I showed you earlier, is that way. So when we talk about white folks, damn near 30% of their 83 million homes, which is probably, I think, more than 20 million homes, has more than 600,000 or more. Or more. When you look at black folks, we don't get to a $300,000, $400,000 worth, and it's pretty much all boomers until we get to the top 5, 7, 8% of families. Black America live next to white America in an America and don't even know what America costs because they live it so bad. Now, it isn't just them. There's a bottom part of white America, but what that got to do with me? I went to UCLA. I'm a lawyer. What that got to do with me? I love it when white folks come in my chat or my thread and say, white folks is poor too. Well, show me your UCLA degree then. It's different around here. Y'all let these people talk and not qualify themselves. So the top half of white folks, the middle white person, white family is worth like $130,000, $140,000 in net worth. Them up are giving this money to their children. So if you went to UCLA and you in that cohort where they worth a million, 4 million, 8 million, they are giving them 4,000 equivalent a month, 6,000 equivalent, and it's coming from both sides. And you out here trying to pay bills. How that work? How's this gonna work out for you? How many parents financially support at least one of their adult children? 2023 it was 45%. 2024 is 47%. 2025 is 50%. It would be, I would bet that if you look at the black numbers, this is going exact the other way, and we giving money to people that was in their prime in the 70s and 80s, late 60s. After surveying 1,000 parents of U.S. adult children, a report conducted by Savings.com revealed that parents were doling out an average of $1,474 a month, about $1,800 for Gen Zers and $900 for millennials every 30 days. What is this going towards? To help adult children pay for things like groceries, cell phone bills, rent, health insurance. So when I told you before, it's not expensive, you just not white, this is what I meant. Nearly half of Americans aged 18 to 29 are living with their parents. Remember when I told you that inheritance was the ball game, not labor, and I came up with the term being boomer hooked, and everyone was looking confused? Well, the boomers are the hook and the hanger. They are and what happens now is it's not a person, it's a time period. And it's a time period before you were born. And if your family, for whatever reason, whether it was legacy and the cost of American slavery that locked them out, or whether it was choice, which is far too many of us, you got a problem because what you gonna make 400,000? We went through the BLS data. It's not that many black families above 100,000. Y'all love to use words, but don't know nobody who's meeting those words. Millionaire, making six figures. But they got something else for y'all. Not only have they created a super life for the top 35 to 40% of white America, can we get to it again? They've created an underclass for the bottom half of white folks and probably about 85 to 90% of black America. Many of you have used these things and asked me what's wrong with them. Well, I ain't got time to tell you. I've done shows on it, but you should know based on what they doing. Klarna don't make no sense. Asking you for a quarter down as collateral to give you a loan for a few weeks and then they give it. Come on, bruh. You doing this? Set up by a debt collection company to give you debt collection debt before the purchase because they know that you're a high risk and you don't even know it. So they know you shouldn't be buying it before you know it. And they basically, a debt collector sets this up to create debt before the debt gets even collected on or called on. You got this new earn-in where they give you your check, but then when you do the numbers, the APR, when they give you a loan for 2 days and they charge you for the instant rate $5-6, the APR on $100 is like 1,500%, 1,400%. Go watch the video. It's on my Twitter. They got the Carvana where, in my view, they not really a car business. They more of a, I'm going to come get these low income, high risk people and make them think that they buying something fun by using a vending machine. And y'all buy this stuff. Carvana, CarMax, all that. They in the low income people business. They ain't in the car business in my view. And why the low income people? Because y'all got like 15, 17, 18% credit payments. Like meaning your car interest rate for your car. When you go to CarMax, as an example, they put it on the screen. Bad credit is like 24. The best they got is like 11 or 12. That's because people with good credit. When I went to, I own my car, but when I was thinking about a car, they offered me 2.9, which is basically they was gonna pay me on interest to get me to buy the car. They offered me 2.9. I'm talking about like 6 months ago. I showed you earlier 6 on the market. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're not living like outside the market, you living hard. If you live in full rent, you living hard. Now, if you're not only living full rent, but you giving money away, you're not just living hard, you living backwards, and it's just not gonna work for you. So when the marriage don't work, I want you to understand part of the reason you got stress on your marriage is you gave money away to your grandma and your sister, whether it's the man or the woman. You can't do that. It's supposed to be money coming in the house so y'all can have a stable, at least fighting chance in this America, not going outside. I'm just telling you so you know, y'all out here driving this Uber, giving away money. When you do the calculation, you don't make no money doing that. It's just a cash flow thing, but you really liquidating your car. You're doing the DraftKings, which is the sports gambling. I feel for you, but you can't sports gamble and have no American family. You can be out here and do it, but it ain't gonna work. I'll see you at the courthouse when the divorce papers get filed. You got the OnlyFans and these young women that are out here doing this. Don't let no OnlyFans person show you some kind of large sum of money they made. Look at how they made it, though. Oh, God. These payday loans are awful. They're called pay advance loans. This woman's actual APR, when they did the calculation, was 1,450% and presented as a 0% loan. It ain't 0% when you actually use fees, time, and then you do it with a calculation of the amount. No, it's like 1,400%. I just want to talk today. Part of what I wanted to do today was very, very brief. It was to get into a context of you understanding your contemporaries are receiving an infusion of cash. I believe it's illegally tax-free that you are not getting. If you are not getting that and then also sending money out, you are set up to fail. Now, in addition, if you are using these manipulative tools to survive, you only got so long. None of this makes any sense. It's not, you know how many people I want you to do this for yourself. Go test this. Next time you meet somebody that you think gets this as a check, ask them about Klarna. They don't even know what it is. So you got two Americas. You got a Klarna America, and you got an America where they're getting this check from grandma and granddaddy. Which part of America are you in? This is Tone Talks. Please go to tonetalks.net, subscribe, donate, and share. I just wanted to hit this because I think a lot of people don't understand. The cohort from the 70s and the 80s, they set the whole framework for this to be in their favor. And the question is whether you got somebody that thought about you at that time. Yeah. Welcome to Tone Talks. Welcome to Tone Talks.